Hey there, everyone. Meteorologist Drew Tuma. We're here in the KGO studios in San Francisco. And boy, I mean, what a day we are having today on this Sunday. A storm like I think a lot of us haven't seen in a really long time. So I'm going to be here in the studio from now through the rest of the evening and the rest of the night. And what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about this storm. If you have any questions, go to our Facebook page, ABC7 News Bay Area. There, ask any questions you would like. I have that Facebook page right in front of me right now. I'm going to try and answer as many questions as I can. And we're just going to be here throughout the night. So you can dip in, you can dip out as we track the heavy rain, the strong winds moving through. And really this morning, I mean, you can see live Doppler 7. We've been dealing with that rain. It's been really heavy in the North Bay. Thank you to everybody who's been sending me stuff on Twitter, especially where we've been getting some of those videos and pictures in. And that way, we've been able to see what you've been seeing out there. And we're just going to walk through the storm a little bit, see what you can expect over the next 12 hours, what we can expect tomorrow. So we're just going to begin right now with live Doppler 7. And on live Doppler 7, where you see those brighter colors on your screen, that is the heavier rain that we are tracking out there. And really, for much of the morning and right now, that heavy rain has been really focused in the North Bay. Not to say that areas like San Francisco and Oakland and Danville and Orinda and Redwood City haven't seen that heavy rain, but that atmospheric river we're tracking right now is just really focused in the North Bay, but it's going to begin to move south over the next several hours through the evening and late tonight. I know folks watching in the South Bay, you're like, we've been seeing just some light rain. It hasn't been that bad. It's been windy down here. Yeah. You will see that rain, I promise you, later tonight as the sun goes down and we find that heavier rain moving through across the entire region. So that's what we're seeing at this current moment. As we just kind of zoom in for a quick second, there you can see that's the North Bay right now. You can see right there, that's Pengrove. We have Santa Rosa, Healdsburg. That's 101 in the area. I mean, we're just seeing some really heavy rain through Marin, Sonoma, Napa County right now. And it's really going to stay this way over the next 6 to 7 hours in the North Bay. We have so many videos coming in of smaller creeks overflowing their banks. We have flooding on roadways. We're watching the Glass Fire burn scar really closely because we've been seeing flooding there too. So the North Bay right now is getting hardest hit. And then later tonight, it's really San Francisco, the East Bay, the Peninsula that will get hit hard too. I will take you down to the East Bay. The East Bay Hills has just been getting walloped with a ton of rain, some really strong winds. We've seen wind gusts in the Oakland Hills well over 40 miles per hour. So right now, where you see that heavier rain from Orinda, how you doing? Walnut Creek this afternoon, you've got some heavier showers. Danville, San Ramon, we see some heavier showers. Over the city right now, it's light, if not some pockets of moderate rain in South City and near Millbrae right now. But all in all, it's been a pretty active morning. These are storm reports that we're showing you. We've had numerous trees down in the North Bay, even in the city and parts of the East Bay. We see numerous areas flooded. One area we're watching very closely is the burn scar. This is the Glass Fire. This is in Napa and Sonoma County. And this flash flood warning is until 3:30 this afternoon. I likely think that's going to be extended because we've seen so much rain in such a short amount of time. So what we're worried about on this burn scar is for debris flows. So if you see soil moving in this area, you want to reach higher ground quickly because we've seen a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So we have a lot of flooding in the North Bay here where you see the wider area of green. That's a flood advisory. That's a big portion of Sonoma County, Napa County, parts of Marin County, and really Novato, San Rafael, Mill Valley. Kentfield has seen so much rain early this morning, and it continues to pour there. Fairfax, I mean, Mount Tam is approaching a foot of rainfall. So this storm, it's really overperforming right now, which is incredible to think because of an atmospheric river in October, it's not very common, but to have one that is just soaking us like it is right now is just really uncommon. We also have flood warnings around Santa Rosa, where we do see smaller streams and creeks. We've been getting video in of those smaller streams and creeks. On the storm impact scale, we rank our storms here at ABC7 one light 5 to severe gives you a better idea of what to expect and what we have on our day today. It is a 4, a major storm out there, something we really haven't seen in quite some time. You have to go back to 2017 to see rainfall like this. So on this 4 today, we've got heavy rainfall, we've got flooding, we've got gusty wind, we've got those debris flows we're watching on our burn scars right now. So that's what we're seeing out there with our storm impact scale. And it's really gusty out there too. Look at our hills. We're watching these numbers very closely. Look at parts of San Mateo County. Winds are gusting near 60 miles per hour right now. So it has been a very windy day, and those winds are also down near the surface. Look at SFO. We're gusting close to 49 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour right now. Earlier this afternoon, we had wind gusts gusting 60 miles per hour. You notice in the North Bay, the winds are a little bit lighter. That front is slowly moving through the North Bay right now. It's pretty much in Marin County and areas to the south. So basically anyone else outside of the North Bay seeing those strongest winds. And those winds will continue at least through the 8 p.m. hours. That's what we're tracking. This is what everybody wants to know. Let's go hour by hour on future weather and talk about exactly where this rain is going and what we're going to see. First off, let's start with the colors out there. Green is your light rain. When we get towards those yellows and oranges, those are downpours. And I will say very rarely do we see red on future weather. And red is some very heavy rain, intense downpours, kind of that rain that blows sideways thanks to those strong gusty winds. So 3 p.m. later today, I mean, we're really talking about that rain moving slowly out of the North Bay, beginning to move to San Francisco, the East Bay. By about 5 o'clock, this is when I do expect the activity to really begin to ramp up in the South Bay. So you're going to get some rain, and we're going to get some heavy rain at times in the South Bay. And as we go towards the 7 o'clock hour, you can see the North Bay, it's really light to moderate out there. But as we head towards, let's say 8, 9, we'll see that rain really focused along the peninsula, the South Bay, the East Bay, and we are in the thick of it. By 10 p.m., I mean, we're still seeing heavy rainfall across much of the Bay Area. By midnight, I think the North Bay is finally getting a break out there. But we're still seeing downpours along the peninsula, the South Bay. And then as we go into tomorrow morning, look at 6 a.m. We'll probably see some scattered downpours. I mean, we'll have meteorologist Mike Nico, meteorologist Lisa Argin tag teaming the mornings tomorrow. But I think by 8 a.m., this is really all said and done. And then into the afternoon, we'll find clearing skies out there. So what you're looking at right now, this is additional rainfall through the rest of, I would say, the next 12 hours or so. So we are going to see some places that have 2, 3 inches around the Bay shoreline. So I mean, this is a lot of rain for us this time of the year. And, oh, hey, that's SFO right now. Really rainy picture. We've got flight delays there. I've been tracking them all day long. The last I saw was about an hour. So here's those rainfall estimates. We're looking. This is additional rainfall. This is on top of what we've already seen. So there you can see, the heaviest rainfall has still to come outside of the North Bay. I mean, I think it's pretty incredible that, San Francisco, Oakland, we're still probably going to see 2 inches of rainfall on top of what we've already seen. So that is just substantial rain for this time of the year. Flash flood watch is still in effect for our burn scars in the North Bay and the Santa Cruz Mountains. Still have a wind advisory in effect for the entire Bay Area. Good notice. We've seen those winds gusting over 40 miles per hour at times. So it has been a very windy and rainy day. So again, we're just going to be here all night long. We're going to be here at least through 11 p.m. You can dip in, you can dip out, ask your questions. To ask me any of your questions, go to the Facebook page, ABC7 Bay Area. I have it right here. I'm looking at it right now. Some are saying send rain to Southern California. Yeah, we're getting a lot of rain in a short amount of time. Rain just let up in Red Bluff. Hi there, Jennifer. Yes, it will be pretty windy through the rest of the evening. Those winds, again, those winds were gusting well over 50 miles per hour at times. That was pretty incredible. And again, we'll go back to live Doppler 7 right now. I don't even remember the last time we have seen live Doppler 7 this lit up. The last 2 winters have been super lackluster So to see this is, a blessing, but to have too much in a short amount of time, it's not always a great thing out there. Outdoor concert in Stanford. What do you think about that? Ashley, I would not do that. I know it may seem on the quieter side when we're talking about rain and in Stanford. It's probably pretty windy where you are, but that rain, it's really going to come down later on this evening, especially around Stanford as we head towards San Jose, Gilroy. I mean, you're not out of the woods just yet. We have to see all of that yellow, all of this that is just sitting over the North Bay. That has to still push south. So we are not out of the woods just yet. How about flights coming into SFO? Let's look, Jackie. Let's see what we got. SFO is always, if anyone's ever flown out of SFO, you know how notorious it can be for delays in the Bay Area. Okay, so Jackie, right now, SFO, we're seeing 45-minute delays. As that rain heaviest begins to move south and over SFO, I would anticipate that that's really going to get a lot higher than that. It's pouring here in La Honda. Yeah, we're watching La Honda very close to the Santa Cruz Mountains. We have to be ready for that. If I was in LA, how about the Niners home game? I know everyone is super worried about the Niners home game. I think kickoff, you'll probably have some light to moderate showers. By the fourth quarter, I think we're getting into the thick of it with that storm pushing down to the south and the South Bay. So by the fourth quarter, we'll likely see that rain moving in heavy at times. Let me see if I can see. Same for us in Watsonville. Yeah, it has been a real breezy day. All right, folks, we are just going to take a very quick break. Stay right here, and I will be right back momentarily. Can I see myself? Oh, perfect. And we are back. That's Eric. I love his Toy Story mask. We just had a little audio issue. Welcome to Sunday rain events where it's rainy and windy out there. Again, welcome back. You're just joining us. I'm meteorologist Tuma. We're going to be here all night long through 11 p.m. as this storm just continues to move through. We are not done with this thing. Yeah, I know. A lot of folks in the South Bay are wondering when the rain's coming their way. It will come your way. I promise you. Later on tonight, as the sun goes down, we're going to find the heaviest rain there. So again, me and you just chatting about the storm later on today. I mean, dip in, dip out. We'll be here through at least the next 9 hours. Ask any of your questions. The best way to ask your questions is to go to our Facebook page, ABC7 News Bay Area. I'm on it right now. And I'll try and answer as many as I can. I know a lot of you have a lot of questions out there. Hey, Missy, I have power in Redwood City. Yeah, power is certainly an issue right now. We're finding those strongest winds and the heaviest of the rain. We're seeing power outages in a lot of areas right now. Do you have rain totals, especially available in Fairfield? Of course, we have rain totals. Let's talk about how much rain we've seen because it's a lot of rain, not only for October, but if this storm came any time in the wintertime, this would be a lot of rain out there. So rainfall totals. And specifically, you wanted to know, go back to Facebook, Janet, you wanted to know Fairfield especially. Fairfield right now, closing in, it looks like a little over 2 inches of rain, which is pretty good for Solano County. Solano County sometimes can, miss out on some of the heavier showers. Some of the places that we've seen the highest rainfall totals have been in Marin County, Kentfield, notorious for getting a lot of rain, but they're approaching a foot of rain over the last 24 hours. And that's an incredible total. San Francisco, we've seen 2.5 inches. I really think we may see one of the top 20th wettest days in San Francisco. And if we see kind of anything over 3.5 inches, we'll likely get into that ballpark. So San Francisco, it is just a really wet October day. And let's talk about Napa. Napa, depending on where you are, the airport on the southern side of Napa County, close to 3 inches. Downtown Napa, those closing in on 5.5 inches of rain. So talk about microclimates here. The airport to downtown, it's not that far away, but we've seen a radical difference in terms of rainfall. Santa Rosa out there is coming in at 6.5 inches. Hey, Edwin, Rohnert Park, we're coming in, let's see. Rohnert Park is over 5 inches, Edwin. That's a lot of rain. Oh my gosh. Pamela, what is the best time to drive back to San Jose from Folsom today? Pamela, if you can do it in the next hour, begin your trip. If you can get to San Jose, likely before 6 p.m., that'll be good. If you can hold off until tomorrow is a much better day because no one wants to drive at night. What can I expect on my morning commute from the valley on Tuesday morning? Not that bad. Tuesday, we may see an isolated light shower, but really this is the worst storm we're going to see all week. How much rain have we seen in Concord, Sandy? Sandy, we have seen more than 2 inches of rain, and we're going to see more on that. We'll likely see an additional 2 inches there, so we're not done with this just yet. San Bruno, Bryson, we're talking 1.5 inches in San Bruno. That's pretty good for an October storm. Helen, how's Boulder Creek going? Boulder Creek has seen a lot of rain. We've seen more than 2 inches of rain in Boulder Creek. But again, the Santa Cruz Mountains have not seen the worst of the storm just yet. That's coming later tonight after 5 p.m. So we'll likely add a lot of rain to Boulder Creek out there. Natalie, will power go out? Power is, yeah, I think a lot of places will see their power go out. We've already seen it happen right now. More is just going to happen later on this evening because of the rain and the wind. Hey Jenny, when will this AR begin to move south? I think this is going to begin to move south in the next hour. So likely, around 3:30, we should begin to see this thing slowly push its way to the south. There is some indication that it may try and stall somewhere later on this evening. That's something we're watching very closely. Inland Empire, anything coming? No, not that much. Lake County, Ginny, let's see. Ginny, we are looking at in Lake County. Let's see. We've seen more than 3 to 4 inches in Lake County. That's a good amount of rain in Lake County. What else? Redding, California. Yeah, we've seen some rain in Northern California in Redding. But you can see, this atmospheric river, you guys, is just really aimed right at the Bay Area, which is why we've seen just so much rain in such a short amount of time. San Jose, we are seeing very minimal rainfall right now. You picked up 0.03 of an inch of rain in San Jose. Do not worry. Again, I know my South Bay friends, you're like, what is going on? It's going to come. Don't worry. It's going to come down south. And I think we're going to end up in San Jose. I think we're going to end up with more than 1 inch of rain out of this storm, which is pretty good, especially since you're kind of shadowed by the mountains down there in the South Bay. What else? Who do we have? For the Walnut Creek, Pleasant Hill area, when will the worst be over? Lauren Greenfield. Hey, Lauren. Laura, let's go hour by hour, kind of on future weather. I know a lot of people really want to see what's happening. So this is future weather if you're not used to it. The colors on the screen, green is your lightest rain. When you start getting to those yellows and oranges on your screen, like we see, this is later on this afternoon, it's at 3 p.m., so just in about a half hour. Yellows and oranges are downpours. And then you notice these pops of red. That is heavy rain. I'm talking heavy rain. I'm talking rain that's going sideways, blinding rain. So we're going to start to see this thing on the move. So here's 5 p.m. We're finally starting to see that atmosphere slowly march to the south. So I think by 5 p.m., we're all starting to get into the height of the storm. We're talking heavy rain, strong winds. And you notice even in the South Bay, here's San Jose right here. We're beginning to see that rain fill in. You're starting to see more of those showers. The Niners game by kickoff, I do think we'll see some light showers. But as we go through the third and the fourth quarter, I think that rain's really going to intensify. Here's 7 p.m. You notice that atmospheric river has barely moved. So we're really seeing heavy rain from San Francisco, the East Bay, the Peninsula, the South Bay. Later on by 10 p.m., it barely has moved. So that's why we're thinking that additional rainfall, 2 inches in a lot of spots on top of what we already have, is very likely. The other thing you notice in the North Bay, we're starting to see that back edge of the atmospheric river. So we're talking about points, Santa Rosa, Cloverdale, Knoxville. You're starting to see your stuff lighten up as we approach midnight. And I think by midnight, in the North Bay, the worst is over. We're kind of drying out. We're assessing what's happening, how much did our creeks flood, what trees are down. But outside of the North Bay, we're still in the thick of this thing by midnight. It looks like in the early morning hours, it's going to pick up its pace Monday morning. We're going to see it start to kind of kick out of the South Bay. This is 6 a.m. The atmospheric river itself is out of here, but on the back edge, could see some scattered showers very early Monday morning. But this is 8 a.m. and the rain is pretty much out of here. And much of the daylight hours on Monday, it's a dry day, but we do have that high surf warning in effect along the coastline. So long story short, we're not out of it just yet. I think we still have 12 hours at least to go with this atmospheric river. And that's if it doesn't stall. South San Francisco, we've seen a good amount of rain in South San Francisco, Ramsey. We've seen more than 1.5 inches in South San Francisco. And again, probably the next 8 hours will feature some of the heaviest rain we've seen with this storm in South San Francisco. Hey, Drew, when will Bay Area NorCal rain be over? I'm in San Francisco, but Big Sister's up in Yuba County. We have a vacation place up there. No, we need the rain. Hey, Anthony. Yeah, the rain, I think tomorrow morning the rain's over with. The heaviest of the rain, we could see some isolated, light showers Tuesday morning, but the worst of it, your ability to drive somewhere should be greatly improved by Monday morning. Just wondering what the rain totals are for Napa area. Hi, Amanda. It's been raining steady since 8 p.m. last night. Let's see. Napa. Oh, we talked about this earlier. The airport on the southern side of the county, almost 3 inches. But as you head north into Napa proper, up 29, we've seen 5.5 inches of rain in the past 24 hours. That's a lot of rain. I mean, if anyone who's lived here for a long time, that's a lot. 5.5 inches. Yeah, the big question, Leslie, is this going to make a dent in our drought? Yeah, certainly this is definitely going to make a dent in our drought, but by no means is this going to completely erase our drought. Remember, much of the Bay Area is an exceptional drought. That's the worst drought category you can be in. Our past 2 winters have been so terrible. We're trying to make gains on, a loss of 2 feet of rainfall from, those past winters. So long story short, it will make a dent in our drought, Leslie. It's not going to erase it. But, any rain right now, super helpful. Hi, Lori, you're in Vacaville. We've seen more than 2 inches. Hey, Raymond, are we going to have another dry winter this year? I do think so. I know that's not what anybody wants to hear. We're in another La Nina winter pattern. And if anyone's a betting person, 9 times out of 10, a La Nina winter does mean a drier than average time. It's great to see this rainfall early on in the season, but sometimes La Nina winters, the back half can be very dry, which is not great news. That's something we're watching very closely. How much rain have we had in Hercules? Hi, Andy. Also wondering, our wind gusts. You're amazing. The reason I watch ABC. Oh, hi, Andy. Thanks for that. Let's see. In Hercules, I mean, parts of Contra Costa County have just in Alameda County too have just been like really walloped by this storm. More than 3 inches in Hercules, Andy, and the winds have been gusting well over 35 miles per hour at times. So it's been pretty crazy, close to the water. Jacqueline, hi Jacqueline. When was the last time we had any measurable rain like? I mean, I think you have to go back. Ooh, this has been a long time. The last time we had a 4 was January of 2017, so it has been a while. I am flying home. Hi, Jennifer. I'm flying home from Chicago. Will the storm move east? And will I fly through the remnants? Yeah, I think you'll, hey, Jennifer, I think you'll have a little bit of a bumpy ride as you go over the Sierra just because the storm is exiting. But coming in to the Bay Area, if it's not in the morning, you should be A-okay. Hi, Anthony. Love you and Reggie. Oh, thanks, Anthony. Okay, so now that we're talking about the Sierra really quickly, we're going to get snow. That's a great thing. We'd love to hear about that. Winter storm, all of that in pink. That's a winter storm warning. That does encompass all of Lake Tahoe, the West Slope, 50, 80 going to the region, slick travel. So this begins later on this evening. Above 6,000 feet, we're talking about 6 to 14 inches of snow. But once you go to the highest peaks, above 7,000 feet, we're talking 3 feet of snow. So that's a lot of snow early on in the season. So that's something we're tracking. So if you're thinking about when do I want to go to Tahoe, don't go in the next 2 days. If you can wait till Tuesday, even better Wednesday, once the storm is totally out of here, that'll be good because they have not even seen the start of the snow in the Sierra with this system. Hey, Raymond. I know it's a 4, but did you ever consider making it a 5? I think if this had been, since this is one of the first storms we've seen in our storm season, it's pretty early on. We knew that our smaller streams and creeks would certainly be an issue. Our rivers, though, are just so dramatically low that they can take a lot of this runoff. So we weren't really worried about river flooding. And typically when we talk about a 5, this is when our rivers are starting to overflow their banks. And when we are really thinking that there could be the potential for landslides, not only over our burn scars, but in more populated areas. So no, we weren't never say it was gonna be a 5. Maybe if the storm had happened in January and we already had several months of rainfall and our ground was pretty saturated, then we would have thought about it. But no, I think 4 was the right decision with this storm because it's a major storm that's coming through us. Hi, Pat, how you doing? And again, we'll be here for at least through 11 p.m. tonight. So you can leave, you can dip in, ask your questions. I'll be in here from time to time if you want to ask any questions. And again, the easiest way for me to see your questions, go to our Facebook page on ABC7 News Bay Area. What I do want to show you just real quickly is just kind of what we're looking at right now in terms of the rainfall with this storm. Again, you can see that line of yellow is just right now. That's the atmospheric river itself. It is just squarely aimed on the North Bay. And then as we go through the next couple of hours, that's going to sink south. And that's where we're really featuring some of our heaviest rain. But again, I mean, the North Bay, you're watching us from there. Hopefully your power's not out. But it's been so much rain. So if you can safely, we always do like to see what you're seeing where you live, gives us a better idea. So if you take anything, videos, pictures, the easiest way is Twitter. I'm at Tuma ABC7. We'd love to share what's happening in your neck of the woods. But really, I mean, the North Bay is really getting hammered right now. And the East Bay, I mean, in the hills, look at this. I mean, we're still seeing some really heavy rain. There's pops of yellow and orange, even around Concord, Walnut Creek, Danville. It's just been a mess all morning long, and even in the city. And there you can see, you see that line, this right here? That's a line of some heavy rain, and that's about to make its presence known in the city. So real quickly, the great thing about Live Doppler 7 is you have the ability to tell you when exactly it's going to move into your neighborhood. So we're going to say this is about this, and then let's see. So SF, we're going to see this line move in at around 2:46, so probably the next 15 minutes or so. Berkeley close to 3, Oakland probably a little bit after 3. So this is our day today. I mean, I hope you're able to hunker down. No reason to, if you don't have to be outside. I mean, try and stay safe out there. Enjoy the wet weather, the wind if you can. I know a lot of us are dealing with concerns of flooding and our power outages, and that's really tough. But again, we still got at least 12 more hours with this storm, if not more, depending on if it stalls in the region. Oh, let's see. Hi, Natalie. Hello, how are you? Hi, Kyle. Good afternoon. Morgan Hill and Gilroy seems to have higher amounts of precip than San Jose. Yeah, one of the biggest things, what we love about the Bay Area is our microclimates, but what causes them is our topography a lot of the time. So where we're close to hills in a lot of areas, that can squeeze out a lot of moisture in a small amount of time, and that can create wide differences in our rainfall. Hi, Justin. Sandy, thanks for the info. Yep. Dip in, dip out, Sandy. We'll be here. Why isn't San Jose getting any rain? I thought this was supposed to be a major soaker. Teresa, it's coming. I know. It is coming. It's slowly. Once it arrives in the evening, you will get the rain. You felt the wind, so you're getting part one of what is a two-part storm here for the South Bay. Let's see. I do want to show you really quickly because I know that precip totals, everybody wants to know how much precip they've seen. And I love showing how much we've seen. Okay, so we're going to do live Doppler 7 is amazing. You can do a ton of things out there. One of my favorite things is just to see how much rain has fallen. Let's just see. 2.4 inches there. Let's see what else we got. We've got some hard hit areas over here in Solano County. Yeah, parts of Solano County, between Fairfield and Vacaville have seen a ton of rain. That's putting out more than 3 to 4 inches. Certainly the highest rain totals have been in the North Bay, but that's going to change as the rain continues to sink to the south. Hi, Andy. How many more inches of rain will we get in Hercules? This is a good question. How much more rain? I know everyone's like, we're getting more rain. Yes, we're getting more rain. Okay, so what you're seeing on your screen, this is rainfall on top of what we've already seen. So this is additional rainfall. And I mean, you see these numbers, it's printing out a wide area of 2 more inches, if not more than that, across the Bay shoreline. So I think Hercules, Oakland, Hayward, Fremont, the city, San Mateo, Redwood City, the inland East Bay, I think we're all going to see at least 2 more inches of rain. As we head towards the South Bay, San Jose Mountain View, I think 1 inch to 1.5 inches is a pretty good estimate. Thankfully, in the North Bay, we're probably only going to see 1 to 2 more inches of rainfall out of this because we've already seen so much rain already that, we're good. We need a break. We need to chill out with this rain. Hey, Drew, when will it snow in Mount Shasta? Hi, Judy. Surely flooding in the North Bay. Yeah, we have had flooding in the North Bay. Again, I'll show you exactly what we're looking at. So this is the North Bay, and there's a large area shaded in that lighter green color, a huge portion of Sonoma County, basically the southern half of Napa County, the interior portion of Marin County. We're under a flood advisory, which just means there's widespread localized, flooding on a street, flooding in someone's backyard, flooding of a small stream or a creek. So you can see much of the North Bay is painted in green right now because of that flood advisory. We have a few issues with a flood warning. And when we're watching, really closely, and we've talked about this, for the past several days, our burn scars, this is really the first true test of our 2020 burn scars, because last winter, we didn't really have intense storms at all. This is the first true test on some of these burn scars. So this is the Glass Fire burn scar. We do have a flash flood warning until 3:30 p.m. for those areas shaded in green. And you can pretty much see it's pretty much on either side of Highway 128, where we had the Glass Fire. So we're watching that area very closely. If you live in this area, keep your eye on the soil. If you see any movement, you do want to seek higher ground very quickly because we have seen a lot of rain in a short amount of time. Hi, Drew. Hey, Jackson in Novato. We have been inundated since early morning. What is our official total? So the official total right now in Novato is 2.65 inches. But if you just go, 10 miles south on 101 to the Marin Civic Center, they've seen 7 inches of rain. So, it's a lot of rain in Marin. It's been pouring all day here in Boise. Oh, that's good to know, Joanne. Any idea about the Tri-Valley? Hey, Justin. The Tri-Valley, we are still awaiting the heaviest of the rain. I think it's the biggest takeaway is that a lot of us are still waiting on the heaviest of the rain. So We're going to begin to see that atmospheric river on the move in the next hour or so, and that's going to slowly move south. And, the Tri-Valley, I think by about 4 to 9 p.m., that's when you're going to see some of the worst rain. Nothing in San Joaquin Valley. Justin, is there any possibility of flash flooding in Tracy? I think there is the chance in Tracy, especially as the storm begins to move on to the south and east. So that's something we're always watching for with an atmospheric river like this. But also, you could see some very strong winds, and that could be a huge issue too. So that's something we need to keep our eye on as we head through the evening hours. One of the things we are watching too is that the winds are going to be strongest Bay Area wide through about 7 p.m. So if you look at your clock, that's the next 4.5 hours. So the winds are going to subside a bit this evening, but the rain is not going to let up. So, that's, I guess, a little bit of a silver lining. The wind's going to calm down a bit, but the rain is still going to be right on top of us. Hi, Maggie. How are you? Good to hear from you. Suzanne, where is the Tri-Valley? Next thing, I call it the Inland East Bay, synonyms, I think, for many people. Just depends on what you want to call it. Hi, Kyle. In regards to the rain, I classified it as a Lord Day. Yeah, it was a strong day. Hey, Denny, Oakley. Yeah, Oakley. I think let's look at Oakley. We're seeing anywhere from 1/2 of an inch to 1 inch of rain. In parts of Contra Costa counties. That's been noticeable. Yeah, Maggie, you got it. Tri-Valley, Dublin, Pleasanton, Livermore. Yep. My nephew in Portland says it has been raining all day there. Not much here in Livermore yet. Yeah, Livermore, we've seen about 1/4 of an inch of rain. And we'll get more as that storm begins to move south. Hey, JR's here. Why don't you come on in?
All right.
Come on. So JR is here with me today. He's anchoring the evening news. How's your drive-in?
Drive-in was rainy, very rainy.
Where'd you come from?
So I was in San Francisco, but made a trip out to the East Bay.
Yeah.
Actually, eventually made it my way up to Fairfield.
Okay.
And I will say on the radio, you heard nonstop about it being the worst in the North Bay, which, there were certainly, and there certainly still are obvious concerns in the North Bay. But even in the East Bay, heavy rains, lots of wind out there. And it was one of the first times I've got a pretty heavy car that on the Bay Bridge, you could actually feel the wind gusts.
Oh, really?
On the bridge. And they were extremely strong. So, so it's been one of those days. Saw a spin out as we headed through the Pinole area earlier today along I-80, right where it turns to go farther north, northeast. Yeah. And it was one of those where literally saw somebody pushing their SUV in the lanes the opposite way of traffic to the center of the aisle. Yeah.
That's terrible.
So certainly concerns. And I know on my page, people have been sending me things this afternoon to talk about where they've seen some of the problems. Yountville. I saw complete streets flooded in Yountville. One of our viewers sent me what it looked like from her home. She hasn't even been able to leave her home because her driveway's flooded, and then the neighborhood streets are flooded.
Oh no!
In Yountville, right there. So
let's see how much rain.
So that was certainly a concern. And I was curious on how much rain, because got a lot of responses from the north and from the east.
So Yountville, I mean, they've seen anywhere from 6 to 7 inches. 6 to 7 inches of rain. When was the last time you heard that?
Wow, 6 to 7 inches.
Wow.
Santa Rosa, we've gotten a lot of response from Santa Rosa. Saw a woman sent me a video from the front of her home. Literally, the floodwater came right up to her home. One of the more rural areas of Santa Rosa, but right up to the home and about to come inside.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Santa Rosa has seen 1/2 foot of rain. 1/2 foot. 6. I don't even. Do you remember a time that was like this? I'm trying to remember a time that we had a storm that soaked us this badly. In one day. Like we've had like a week of rain. It's been like, oh man, this is not great.
I don't think I can remember in one day.
Me too.
I can remember probably in the neighborhood of 9 or 10 years ago where there was a period of 7 days or so where it was complete rain, at least here in San Francisco. But to have one day like this, especially coming off how dry we've been.
Yeah, and Amanda said what you're saying. I'm up near Yountville. My backyard is completely flooded. I lost branches on my redwood tree. Jeez, is there any fire danger?
So my question to you would be, that rain that we had earlier this week, does that help in a situation like this as we go into a day like today where you've had so much rain, but maybe that rain earlier in the week helps with the ground, so it's not as bone dry,
right? And then it just all becomes runoff, right? And it just gets as fast. What would be interesting, I would want to know, if we didn't have that rain earlier, would there be even more power outages? Because remember how like we're having those issues with those power lines with like the first rain of the season, and it was just like sparking all these power poles. So I wonder, I think in that aspect, maybe it found the issues on the power lines, and then that wasn't such an issue. But now we have all those strong winds that everything's coming down so fast.
I even I got some pictures a little while ago from El Sobrante, where the power lines, you didn't just have issues up there, the power lines actually came down the roadway.
My God.
So it was a complete road there in El Sobrante that somebody had sent pictures of. Santa Rosa, or excuse me, San Rafael, a big concern tonight. Talked with somebody who had just gotten off the phone with some of the emergency crews there in San Rafael, and they were saying there are so many downed trees in San Rafael right now that they don't know exactly which ones to respond to first. It's a process.
It's like, what's a hierarchy?
But the recommendation was to stay in your house in San Rafael, just because of the amount of downed trees that they've had in that area.
I thought we would have downed trees, but to see this many.
I want to step to the side a little bit just so I'm not in the way.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. All that live.
And I want to glance just because a lot of people have been sending some of their different things in.
If you have anything, show us.
Here is one thing, and I don't know if I can show it just off the phone. Someone sent me a video from the bay, from the actual bay. Captain on the tugboat out there on the bay. And it just shows, you see the waters, and I believe we're going to post it online pretty shortly. But you can see the waters in the San Francisco Bay, and it looks like you're out in the ocean storm.
No,
just because the waters are so choppy and rough.
It's like the perfect storm out there.
So, really, I think everybody's dealing with it, and that's the point probably to be made.
Let's see. Okay, Jennifer, she's in Fremont. I have a swimming pool. I want to add water. It's a bit low where it needs to be because the rain was so far. I won't need to. Oh, she's got so much rain. She doesn't need to add water to her pool. Hi, Drew and JR. Hi, Thomas. Hasn't stopped raining here in Concord since 11. Yeah, Concord's been hit pretty hard. Thanks. I never knew that term. Hey, guys, I'm in Pinole. Lost a whole tree.
And wow.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
A lot of trees going down.
A lot of trees. I mean, I think you have to blame, obviously the drought on that. They're all just weakened. And then you get just like a little bit of rain to make them like a little bit damp, and then the wind chops them down. But a lot of trees.
I think, and I think the concern, somebody said they hadn't lost their electricity, but they lost their Wi-Fi and they lost their cable. And
that's like you're disconnected.
They were expressing their problems. They said, well, we can't really go anywhere. It's great we have electricity, but we can't, we're not connected.
It's like the 90s. What did we do in the 90s when we had
what
no
books
internet?
Do we have around the house that we can still read that are actual books that you don't have to pull up from online or I've already downloaded?
Like I have power, but I have nothing to do.
And I did get a lot of questions from the South Bay. A lot of people saying that they felt the strong winds. They just wanted to know when more of it was going to
and a lot of people are really nervous about the Niners game. That's a huge concern. I think at 5, they have light rain down there. But I mean, look, all that yellow, that has to move through the South Bay.
Wow.
So it's going to rain there. It's going to rain after 5, and it's going to be a lot of rain, probably an inch to an inch and a half.
And I know at last check, more than 66,000 people without electricity.
Wow.
Here in the Bay Area.
Wow.
And that is concerning, and because especially when you look at the outage map, it's from all the way down south. Till all the way, to Sacramento and even farther north up to Gaia. So, so a huge area. So you just wonder if they've got to respond to all of these downed trees and power lines. How long it's going to take to get from one location.
And the other thing is, I don't think they could put those cherry pickers up in like 30-mile-per-hour winds. So they probably have to wait until the winds subside, which probably won't be till tomorrow. So if you lost power.
So the winds keep up through the night.
At least to the level that they probably can't go up there and safely and like monitor much are the polls. And then tomorrow, think about tomorrow though. We have a little bit of rain early in the morning, and then much of the day tomorrow is pretty chill. It's pretty calm. It's we're kind of assessing what happened. Mm-hmm. Did a tree hit your house? How flooded is your creek?
Sure, sure. And we saw, every time we have, heavy amounts of rain, you look at certain spots. San Anselmo is one of those spots.
Yeah.
Where you have the river and it borders a lot of the businesses.
Yeah.
And I know early on, officials were saying they don't believe this is going to cause major flooding in the area. But at the same time, we got some video in, and it showed that creek, and that creek, although not, overflowing or anything like that.
Is it flowing fast?
It's flowing fast and a lot of water.
Yeah.
So we saw that. And when you see creeks like that, you start thinking, wow.
Oh, Kyle asked, how was your drive in the wet weather? It was rough. It was windy, right?
It was extremely windy.
Yeah.
It was, we made it through. It was okay. Yeah. You saw people who had spun out. There was that one case of where they spun out.
Yeah.
But other than that, I will say this. There weren't nearly as many cars on the roadway today as there usually are on Sunday.
That's
and
good.
so that was good to see that people are actually heeding the warnings.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there were quite a few that were still out there. Mm-hmm. And I think it's concerning when you hit those slick spots.
I wonder if people looked out their window today and they're like, no. Like, I don't want to go. No. It's like, I don't want to do this.
No, I don't know when you started hearing the wind today or hearing the howling today.
I would say I woke up pretty early. I woke up at like 6 and I heard it.
You heard it.
Yeah, it was this morning. That was like, 7, 8, 9 a.m. It was like, oh, those trees are moving.
Started really hearing the howling.
Yeah.
My building here in San Francisco, my hallway sort of sits almost on the corner of the building. Mm-hmm. And so when you walked out into the hallway today, there was like a howling, almost like the sound you get from the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes.
For that howl.
Do you know I've never heard that sound? I don't know if I'm lucky because I feel like the people who hear that sound are like, no, I don't want to hear it.
It's a very loud sound. Yeah. And it outpunches anything. You'll know when you hear it.
Yeah.
Because that's what you hear.
The wind through the bridge.
I'm going to glance back some of the different folks, because there were some others that I wanted to mention.
Yeah, please do.
Where people.
I noticed, hey, Brenda, I noticed rain will stop next week. Yeah, that's very California weather. It's always feast or famine. We always get those like 1 or 2 weeks where it's super active, and then it calms down for 2 weeks or so. So after this, I think we'll be pretty calm for about a week or two.
Glancing through just to see where we're.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got. And I've seen this a couple of times in just some of those low-lying areas. I know I brought it up before, but in Santa Rosa, where you have a low-lying area and then you have all of this rain come down, and you just see that water just sitting there.
But at the same time, it's like if it rains, 6 inches at any point in the winter, that's a lot of rain. So it's like, how do you combat that?
And I hope I hope some of our reservoirs are able to collect this rain and it's not all runoff.
Right.
And obviously I think there's also concern over mudslides, huh?
Oh, totally. And we're watching the Glass fire burn scar in Napa and Sonoma County closely, because we do have a flash flood warning on that through the afternoon. And there's the threat of debris flow. So we're saying if you see soil move, go to higher ground. That's certainly an issue we're totally tracking.
So somebody was saying they reached out and they showed video of outside their apartment in Vacaville.
Okay.
And they said that in Vacaville, and we have to check with this, but they said the Walmart on Alamo closed due to not only flooding, but a power outage there. Somebody giving us a heads up. But again, that's just coming in a few minutes ago.
And I feel like we're going to see more of that as the night goes on. Because we've seen, out of the North Bay, we've seen a lot of rain. Mm-hmm. But we still have a lot of rain to go. So, and we've already seen issues already with flooding.
Yeah, and you think, you look at that I-80 corridor going all the way to Sacramento, one of the heaviest traveled roads, in the Bay Area, and it's right in the center of things, right in the thick of things, and so you hope for the best. Glancing through, I see a lot of PG&E trucks that folks have sent pictures of.
Suzanne says that sound on the Golden Gate Bridge is really something.
It is.
It sure is.
It is. And several trees down. We had a tree, right down from the station here on Front Street.
Okay.
There were a couple trees that were down. And you could see how busy some of these crews are when they just put yellow tape around it and they go on with their day.
So like, this is not much of a nuisance. We'll get back to it later.
Didn't take down an electric wire. Let's deal with the ones that are of most concern taking down some of those electric wires first. So
Andy said, as I'm typing this, the rain and wind just picked up immensely. Okay. Jennifer, is this a sample of La Nina? Yeah. La Nina, Jennifer, sometimes in the beginning of La Nina winter, it can be very front loaded with rain. So the back end can be a little bit drier. Something we're watching. Maria, how many flight cancellations do we have? Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. Let's see what SFO is doing. SFO right now, 45 minutes. All right. I'm sure that's going to go up.
Not terrible. I mean, anytime you have bad weather at San Francisco International, they have to shut down, one of the runways.
Like anytime. It's like at all times.
That's an argument.
As if I was just like, we're just going to let go. You're like,
and it's tough too, because when you fly out here and it's windy, it's like flying into places, like Phoenix or Las Vegas. It's a lot of times it's windy when you fly in, and when you fly in wind. Here's something that somebody reached out. They said, Anita says it's bad in the Santa Cruz Mountains, the burn areas.
Okay.
People there were told to evacuate early this morning. Problem is, where do you go on short notice when the sheriffs say you cannot stay? No power, so cannot send you any videos. But that's another. I mean, you talk about the burn scars and the concern over the burn scars.
And I mean, look at Santa Cruz Mountains, right? It's not that bad. It's like light rain, if not some pocket downpours. I mean, they still have not seen the brunt of the storm yet.
Wow.
So I mean, and it's gonna fall at night, which is even worse. Yeah.
During the day, already pretty dark.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it was a really good call that they made them evacuate this morning, because it happens at night. Then you're in more trouble. So again, all that yellow, it's got to come down into the Santa Cruz Mountains. So
that is something.
It's gonna be pretty wild.
Yeah, this is just one that affects everybody, and I think that's why it really hits home in cases like this.
And also, I feel like when we have atmospheric rivers in the past, it's one place gets hit pretty hard, and then the other one's not bad. I mean, this is like everybody is just getting hit with rain. And I mean, we're looking at the Bay Bridge camera behind us here. I'll turn this so you can see it really quickly. I mean, that's the Bay Bridge camera, and I'm not moving the monitor. It's shaking by itself. And JR was saying that he came over that.
Yeah, it was, and I will say this. I noticed the winds on the eastern span of the Bay Bridge more than I noticed them on the western span. I mean, it was still strong on the western span, but on the eastern span, I don't know if it has anything to do with that being wide open like it is.
It may.
But there was a semi truck way up there, and it was sort of like, and I thought, wow, I hope that's, that semi is okay.
Yeah. And then there was one, I think, on the western span, the lower deck. They had 2 tractor trailers flipped. So I mean, that's like,
and that's something we see in the grapevine. When they have those strong winds in the grapevine.
Yes.
But to see it here in the Bay Area.
I know. I don't recall a time that I've seen anything flip like that on the Bay Bridge, especially.
Wow, that is something.
So I mean, these winds were like, when we were talking about an hour ago, the winds at SFO were almost 60 miles an hour. 60.
Are those some of the strongest that we've seen?
I can't. I'm trying to think back to a time where it got to 60 at SFO.
Are they some of the strongest that we've seen here today, though?
Yeah, for sure. And on our hills, if you go up into like Mount Diablo is over 60. Parts of the Santa Cruz Mountains were over 60. So the hills are getting walloped.
And you were talking about the inches of rain some places have already received.
Yeah.
I know we're speaking of Yountville before and Santa Rosa, and they're way up there. Where is San Francisco in comparison to Santa Rosa?
So San Francisco, Yountville? We've seen, 2.5 inches of rain.
2.5.
And I mean, we're watching for, if we start breaking 3 inches of rain, then we're getting to like the top 20 wettest days ever in the city.
Wow.
So we're gonna have to watch that really closely. That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're approaching 3 p.m. We're here. We're going to be here through the night, at least through 11 p.m. We're going to dip in. We're going to dip out. Go on Facebook, the ABC7 News Bay Area Facebook page. Ask your questions. Send some of your questions to JR too. Is yours just JR Stone?
Yes.
JR Stone on Facebook. If you have any good videos, send it to us. We'd love to see it. We always love to see.
And hopefully we'll be able to show you some of the videos I was talking about. I know we even have, there's just, when you have days like this, now that everybody has a camera, everybody's able to shoot, which is great. And you try to get as many as you can into the show.
Yeah.
And that's, going into the 5 o'clock show, we'll be able to show off a lot of those videos. But I when it's sort of, it shows you, the concern, because one of the videos that I spoke of from Santa Rosa, where the woman's actually narrating it from her front porch, and you see the water all around, but you think to yourself, you're like, oh, that moment when it's almost inside your house.
Yeah.
And it's still raining.
Yeah. What do you do?
And it's just a waiting game. You hope that it doesn't come in.
You hope.
You're
like, please.
But 6-7 inches. Is that more than the estimate going into today? Because
I think most of our guidance was saying anywhere between 4 and 7 inches.
Okay.
But we've seen a lot of areas surpass 7 inches. And so that's just, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we see some parts of like the East Bay surpass 5 inches. Yeah. That's a lot of rain.
I thought it was interesting. CHP was speaking today, and we've been speaking with all of the officials too. But one of the CHP officers was saying that when you're driving in conditions like this, he recommended the middle lanes.
Okay.
He said oftentimes the water, just the way the roads are developed, the water will go to the side.
Okay.
So it's just safer to go in the middle lanes.
It's probably the chance of hydroplanes a little bit lower. I would assume.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I thought that was interesting. So needless to say, when I was on my way back from Fairfield, I was driving in the middle.
And you're like, I'm taking their advice. I need this. I do not want to hydro. That's one of the scariest things.
Yeah.
Hydroplaning. I've only done it, like really hydroplane like twice in my life, but it's always caught me off guard. And
he was also saying on a normal basis, they recommend for every 10 feet, for every mile per hour you're going, for every 10 miles per hour you're going, it would be 10 feet. I could have this backwards. 10 feet per car, the car length that you stay in front.
How much?
And then usually you double. Basically, the point he was making is you double the car length that you'd usually be from the people in front of you on a day like this.
Oh, gotcha.
And I thought that was interesting, just the car length, because at one point when I saw a spin out earlier today, it was one of those where all of a sudden the brakes hit and you find yourself slamming on the brakes, and it's so wet outside. So I don't have my mathematician numbers on me, but basically double what you normally, the distance you normally.
People in the city weren't doing that. It was like bumper to bumper in the city.
Yeah.
I guess you're going slower, but it's been wild.
Yeah, trees down everywhere though. Even, earlier, I know Liz Kreutz was talking about on the morning show, they had a neighborhood in San Francisco where a massive 100-foot tree up, and they had to evacuate everybody from the neighborhood out of fears that this tree was going to come down.
Oh, geez.
And that's a concern too. And here the tree is still standing, but it's tilted a little bit, and there's a feeling that it could come down.
Oh no!
So that's you have those concerns at homes too.
Yes. So Amanda says, tap your brakes when you hydroplane. Never slam on them. I did not know that.
Like a slow, little tap.
All right. I did not know that.
I'm glancing back just to see if we have any more pictures. Not that I'm able to show them.
The roads are crowned. Oh yeah, thanks, Maggie. You're talking about how the water runs off.
Kite surfers in Half Moon Bay.
They probably love it.
That would be definitely a concern. Let me pull this up. I don't know if you'll be able to see.
All right, what do we got here?
This is the picture of what it looked like. This is from a tugboat on the bay.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the San Francisco Bay right there. I guess you can see it better than
Whoa. Will you share that? I want to show people on Twitter that is wild. That is like literally, it looks like you're just in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Here's another one. And I'm looking, let me see if
that's some. Oh, hey everybody on YouTube. How you doing? We're on YouTube.
On YouTube too.
Hey, what's up, YouTube?
The one from Santa Rosa, I want to show that. You can go on the YouTube. I can't seem to find.
Let's see. Steer into it too. You guys, you're teaching me all these good things about hydroplaning.
Well, we hope you don't go hydroplane.
I know. I don't want to hydroplane.
Yeah. Is the highest rain total at this hour, when you glance at that chart, would it be Yountville? I know before you were saying that they were up near 7 or 6 or 7. Some spots.
I mean, look at Kentfield right now is closing in on a foot of rain. I know we've heard folks in Fairfax. They said a similar thing. I think someone had their rain gauge at like 10 inches in Fairfax. Wow. That's a lot of rain. A foot of rain in Kentfield almost. That's crazy. And then you contrast that with San Jose, which is basically seeing like a few hundredths of an inch. So
I'm trying to pull it. An outdoor tent that got destroyed. You think of all the tents that are out there right now.
A lot of people
and
had stuff planned this week, and they were mad at me.
I'm
sorry to any homecomings that were destroyed by this wet weather.
I'm still looking for this Santa Rosa.
I apologize in advance. My bad.
Internet's a little slower in here.
Yeah, so, the Wi-Fi is struggle bus some days.
I'm pulling up if I can get a hold of that. This is the street in Yountville.
Okay, so it's gonna be Yountville.
Go with Yountville.
Okay, so this is Yountville.
That's the street.
Oh my gosh.
This is the other side of my hedge. This is not as bad as it's been before.
Okay.
Not great because it's not high tide yet. But certainly the town is on it.
Whoa. Okay, wait. So that's Yountville, right? Yountville. And Yountville has seen. Let me go back to our little rain gauge. We said Yountville has seen 6 to 7 inches of rain today. 6 to 7 inches. Look at that. You could kayak on that.
So here's one from El Sobrante. Okay, it's just a picture though.
Okay.
That gives you an idea of some of the power lines that the entire street there was closed off due to some of the power lines coming down, as you see there.
El Sobrante. That's definitely why people do not have power.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm almost to here's the Santa Rosa video.
Let's see. So Santa Rosa has seen, what did we say? Half a foot so far.
Half a foot. And here is one of the households.
Okay, let's see this.
This is Rachel Hallen from Santa
Rachel.
Rosa.
All right, now this is our yard, our front yard.
That's a yard.
It's all the way up to almost the steps.
Oh, look at the dog.
There's Ryan Cyrus.
Let's see it.
There's all that.
Look at that.
Mailbox.
It's not like it's a lake or a pond. That's a field. Yeah.
It's across the street over there. And it's flooded right here. All right. Hi, Kimmy. Hi, Austin.
Oh my gosh. That is, and again, here we go. They're still in it. So.
Well, at least the kids were enjoying it there, because I know my godson who was over this morning, when I said, look at all the rain, he took one look out the window and he went back to playing video games. So
he's like, that's cool.
He didn't have much concern when it comes to being out in the rain. That's funny. We saw a lot of family photos out there. But yeah, I mean, really, it's not often you see the entire bay dealing with something like this. So.
It's a lot. And we're only going to see more, you know?
You said the 49ers game a concern too.
Yeah, I mean, the first quarter, I think we'll see, you know, the Niners game, probably some light to moderate rain. By the fourth quarter, I think we're in like the wind, we're in the rain. It'll be interesting. Did they ever cancel football games for rain? I don't think so. Lightning. We're not going to see lightning, so they're going to be in it.
Have we seen any lightning?
We haven't seen any lightning.
No lightning?
No lightning, which isn't weird. There has been lightning off the coast of Oregon and Washington. That's going to stay away from us. But it'll be interesting.
Interesting you bring that up. Somebody sent me a video when I made the request online from Portland.
Yeah.
And they were at a pumpkin patch there, and it was a total mess.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just getting bombarded with rain.
Yeah.
So
the whole thing is messy up the West Coast, but Southern California, barely nothing. So
that is something.
Okay, I do have to get updating the forecast. We were going to be here all night long. You can dip in, dip out on YouTube, on our streaming apps, on Facebook. And again, J.R. Stone, his Facebook page too. If you have any video pictures, send them to us. We'd love to see them, see what's going on, especially later tonight as the rain, moves south. If you have any questions, ABC7 News Bay Area, ask them and we'll be here. All right?
Yeah. So this is fun.
Yeah. So we'll be here for the next, at least for 11 p.m. tonight. So if you have any questions, we'll be in and out from time to time. Again, we're on at 5, 6, and 11 on ABC7, Channel 7 if you're watching us in the Bay Area, or you can watch us on the app, ABC7 News Bay Area app. We'll be there, but nonetheless, we'll see you.
Well, and we certainly want to wish everybody the best of luck out there, and prayers with everybody as they go through this, because sometimes you lose your electricity, and we've seen from past instances that sometimes you don't get it back for a while.
Yeah, so that could be tough. Yeah. All right, stay dry, stay safe. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye, guys. Hey there, we're back. How you doing? Just had to get some water out there. So now we're just gonna put together the forecast for what you're going to see on television later today. And if you stick with us through 5 and 6, you'll see some behind the scenes stuff as we go on the air. Let's see what we got. So the first thing we love to look at, looks like our atmospheric river is on the move. That's some good news. Starting to get pretty rainy here in the city right now. So we're just looking at the latest rainfall totals we have. It has been a very wet day. Hey Dan, hi Drew. Is this storm comparable to December 2014? I think this one is stronger, Dan. I think this is a stronger storm than the one we had in 2014, to be honest with you. So basically, here, I can show you what I'm doing right now. It's kind of fun to go behind the scenes. So basically what we use here and what you see at home, it's kind of like PowerPoint. So what we have right here, this is what I'm always looking at. When you see me on TV, I'm looking at all of these different things, all these different slides right there. So right now you can see we have live Doppler 7 in our view. We're going to be using a lot of live Doppler 7 today because we're tracking all that rain. And I have to go in there and I have to create all those graphics you see on the screen. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to just get in there, kind of update the forecast. I know a lot of people really want to know rainfall totals. So that's something we're going to keep updating through the night. If you haven't heard before, this could be one of the top 20 wettest days in San Francisco. So that's definitely something we're going to keep our eye on. Hey, Karen, any ETA when the rain will increase in Santa Clara Valley? After 5 p.m. today, Karen, that's when we'll get it going. And if you haven't, follow me on Twitter. I love Twitter. I love interacting with you guys. I'm at Drew Tuma ABC7 on Twitter. Put a ton of info on there regarding the storm. Love to share your pictures and videos there. Just a great way for us to communicate. Hey, Colleen. Hi, Karen. Yep, you're welcome. Let's see what we got. Let's just put this in the loop over the last hour and see what's going on. Oh yeah, our atmospheric river, it's on the move. So let's go ahead and tweet that out. Twitter. Beginning is one of those words I will never spell right the first time, and I always have to spell check it. Let's see. Some of you guys on Twitter are very funny. That's all I will say. The next question we get a lot, is there any lightning? No, we're not gonna see any lightning today. There's a very, very, very minimal chance tomorrow for lightning. But I think the best dynamics for any lightning and thunder is not gonna move across the Bay Area. So it's just rain and wind. Let's just have those two things to deal with. It's enough to deal with today. It's just rain and wind. Hi, Lauren. Hey there. I'm just reading your comments on Facebook. Again, go to the ABC7 News Bay Area Facebook page. Send in a comment. Hi to everybody on YouTube. How you doing? Oh, this is some encouraging news. With the latest, or I'll show you right now. So here's future weather. There was the potential that this atmospheric river was going to try and stall over some part of the Bay Area. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case right now. Here's 8 p.m. sliding to the south. As we hit about 11 p.m., I mean, you see this definitive line into the North Bay. I mean, we're pretty quiet, but from San Francisco, the East Bay points to the south, we're pretty active. But as you go into the early morning hours on Monday, I mean, this thing's pretty much out of here by the time the sun gets up here. So, I mean, that's some encouraging news, is that it doesn't look like it's going to stall. But still, nonetheless, there's like a lot of rain still coming our way. We're getting a lot of reports of trees coming down, which is not surprising. You have, drought-stressed trees from the past several years. You get a little bit of rain, makes them even weaker. Oh, JR, some good video. How much rain in Union City, Raymond? Let's see. I know it's a big question. I'm going to try and update these totals as fast as I can. Richmond, wow. 4.5 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain. That is a lot of rain. let's see. Oh, in my backyard. Yep, a lot of rain. A lot of rain. A lot of rain. Hey, Jaden, Vacaville's seen several inches of rain. Let's update. Let's get the latest numbers on the rain. And I'm gonna make this map like 10 times tonight, just because it's gonna keep updating. Let's see. What do we got here? Kaya. So Ukiah seen 4.5 inches of rainfall last 24 hours. Clear Lake has seen just a little over 4. Venado is one of those places that's like insane. 7.3, geez. 7.35. Okay, let's see. Santa Rosa, you've seen a lot of rain. Santa Rosa downtown. 6.5 inches. Wow. Let's go to Napa. Napa's seen a lot of rain. Almost 6 inches in Napa. I mean, I think I have to put Kentfield on this map because they've seen almost a foot. Kentfield, who's next? Fairfield, we have seen 3 inches. 3 inches, yeah, we'll go with that. That's correct. Brentwood, we're still kind of waiting in there. About 1/2 inch. We'll get more. So we're just updating the rainfall map. If you're just joining us, I'm gonna have to do this like 10 times tonight. Concord, what's up? 2.5 inches in Concord so far. All right, we'll add to that. Livermore, let's get you down. So far, not a lot, but that'll change. 0.39. Danville, you've seen a lot of rain. 3.72 inches. That's a lot of rain in Danville. Oakland, you've seen a lot of rain too. Let's see. Fremont. Seen about 2/3. It's not bad. Hayward, I've seen more in Hayward, almost 1.5 inches in Hayward. What up, East Bay? Getting pretty soaked. San Francisco's seen a lot. We're closing in on 3 inches in San Francisco. It's a lot of rain. Redwood City. Almost 2 inches in Redwood City. It's Palo Alto. Oh yeah, okay, 0.67, not bad. Much lower as you head into San Jose. Sorry, it's coming, San Jose, I know. You're all yelling at me. It's fine. It's got us, so we get there. Okay, 0.4, it's pretty good. So, similar setup. All right, quarter. More's coming. Ben Lomond, probably got soaked. Almost 4 inches in Ben Lomond. Half Moon Bay. How much did you get Half Moon Bay? Oh, more than an inch. Okay. That's it. Some degree. There you go, Drew. Using your brain. So here we are. To all our friends on Facebook, YouTube, and all the apps. Here's your rainfall total so far. They are impressive. Kentfield closing in on a foot of rain. Santa Rosa over half a foot. I mean, around the base shoreline. SF, Oakland, 2 to 3 inches. Yeah, that's a lot of rain. It out. I love Twitter because you guys send all your videos and pictures. I'm Drew Tuma, ABC7 on Twitter. That's where you can get all the good info. Hi, Drew. You're right. Run the Oh, that'll be tough. Okay. So we've got our rainfall map. That'll be on the air later tonight. You'll see that. All right. So the storm impact scale, still good to go. Oops. Sierra Snow. What's up, Eric? Hey, buddy. That winter storm warning, it will begin in the next 90 minutes at 5 p.m. So all areas in pink, that's, that's Tahoe right there. Here's the west slope. Over the next 24 hours, snow level's kind of high, above 6,000 feet, 6 to 14 inches of snow. And then our highest peaks, we're like going to see 3 feet of snow. That's a lot of snow, 3 feet of snow in 24-hour period. So it's good to see that early season snowfall. We love to see that. Our snowpack, as you know, super important in the summertime. We want it to slowly melt, keep our reservoirs replenished, all that good stuff. Let's see what's happening tomorrow. All right, let's see partly cloud. Scattered showers on your Monday. Tuesday looks kind of wet. Let's pop up the 7-day. So basically, if this is a certain program, but if you know how to use PowerPoint, it's kind of essentially what we're doing here. So you see this all the time. I got to make it every day. So we're going to change the days. Watch them change. So it starts on Monday. It's tomorrow. Good old storm impact scale. Let's see what we want to do. Let's see what the cloud cover is going to be for the rest of the week. It's pretty quiet. So if you're ever wondering, like what we're looking at to make this happen, my favorite site, and I'm biased because I went to Penn State. We are, if you're watching, Penn State has a really good site if you want to look at weather information. So when I show this to you, it might look like a bunch of like garbledygook, but so we're looking at a bunch of different things on this panel. And essentially what we're looking at, let's see how good my Vanna pointing skills are. Okay, so we're looking at, fronts and features, highs and lows, cloud cover. We're looking at, water vapor in the atmosphere. We're looking at rainfall. And we can put that out several days, almost 2 weeks in advance, just to kind of get an idea what we're looking at. And you can look at several different, what we call runs. They come out every 6 hours. So you can kind of see what the trends are, where are storms forming, all that kind of fun stuff. So that's what I'm looking at right now, just to see what we're kind of looking at. Oh, Wednesday. It looks like Wednesday's shaping up to be a pretty nice day. That's good. That's good. We probably have a little bit of fog come back later in the week. Let's see. Thursday. I think the fog will probably come back Thursday, so we'll keep that little foggy icon right there. Friday, we'll probably get some high clouds coming in. That's Saturday. If you watch, you'll see like a bunch of these things start changing as I click through. Okay, Saturday, pretty typical day. It's like, morning fog to sun. I like to see that. I love the fog, by the way. It's my favorite part of the morning. So some fog there. It's also gone Sunday. Sunday's gonna be pretty nice too. Well, I think there'll be a little bit more cloud cover on Sunday. But all in all, nothing crazy. Okay. I'm gonna start moving these things around. Okay. Now that I have my lovely icons in a row, gotta make it look nice and pretty. Move this over here. Probably have some light range. So we got. This just looks cloudy. What'd I do? I'm sorry.
Are you on or are you off?
Yeah, we're here. We're just having fun. You have some videos? JR's back in studio. Okay. I'm just working on the 7-day. What do you got? If you go to his Twitter page, he just put this video up of this boat in the bay. It was rocking.
So we got some videos. Videos are coming in.
Okay.
They're slowly downloading. But here's one from a street in Martinez.
Okay.
And we always talk about, do you drive through the floodwater?
Right.
Do you not drive through the floodwater?
Right. What's that thing? Turn around, don't drown?
Yeah. Well, there wasn't turning around. In fact,
there wasn't turning around happening.
No. In fact, we've gotten a lot of videos in the last 30 minutes or so of people driving through the floodwaters.
Oh, no.
Now, in some cases, they have big pickup trucks.
Okay, so
with
they
big tires, so you can get through that. In other cases, they're a little smaller. So here's again, this is in Martinez.
Okay.
And let me turn up the volume here. You'll see.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be like a bunch of water.
It's a lot of water down there. I mean, a couple feet looks like.
That's a lot of water. Oh no!
And the
You're
car,
like a Prius.
Car coming right through it, and then another car,
man,
the pickup truck coming right through it.
Stop! Oh my god!
So that's one of the videos. But you just think to yourself, even if it's just a foot or two,
right?
You spend all this money to have a Prius,
right? But how are you going to put a Prius and it has like such a low clearance?
And I got to be honest, I don't know. I mean, the effect it can have on a normal car, but what kind of effect does that on an electric car? So that's one of the videos.
Y'all be driving in Prius.
This is just gives you. This was in Pinole, a backyard in Pinole. But you can see, I mean, people are having to take care of their own stuff. You got trees that come down on fences and yards.
And
they're taking care of it, So that was one of the videos. The tugboat, did you show off the tugboat?
No, not yet. Can you show it to me again?
We'll show
guys,
again.
This is wild.
We played it a couple hours ago and it is online now, but that's from the San Francisco Bay. That's not the ocean, that's the bay. The tugboat out there. A lot of people made reference to the hook that is waving in the wind. And I didn't quite notice that before, but yes.
It's truly like the perfect one.
Yeah. And you see those winds just blowing everything up on board there. But it really gives you an idea. I said that's from the San Francisco Bay? Yep.
Someone's like that.
You can't tell what's around it. One of the videos we showed earlier was the Yountville video.
I'm gonna say. Oh yeah, that one's pretty wild.
Yeah, this one's
that one. If you watch this video,
this one, it just shows
the other side of my hedge. This is not as bad as it's been before.
She's downplaying it a bit.
Not great because it's not high tide yet. But certainly the town is on it.
I got a message there before that. But I will say, when it comes to places like Yountville and even up in the North Bay, I mean, traditionally some of these spots receive a lot of rain.
Yeah.
We're used to having a lot of rain.
Yes.
It's only in the last few years that we really haven't seen as much of that
right. So then you kind of forget. You're like, oh wait, we do get rain.
We do get rain. Oh, and we do occasionally, have floods and things like that. So it is something. But we also received from some of the folks who were evacuated in Santa Rosa.
Yeah. And where did they go?
They didn't quite know where to go.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured.
With family, they were driving around.
Yeah.
Some of them were in pickups, but they had sent some videos. Let me see if I have one of the videos that they sent in a little while ago. But basically, you can see these folks just, some of these people plowing through the water.
Please don't plow through
Um,
and this is in Santa Rosa?
It's in Santa Rosa. So actually, I think this one, they're actually going through. They're going to drive through the water, but they've got a big pickup truck. The guy in front of them, you can see he's going through the water there. That's a lot of water. They were talking about what kind of truck he had to see if they could make it through too. So they end up going through, and then look, she's out the window. Look at all that water.
Oh my gosh. Stop driving through.
They're in the water. Look at that. That's just on the street. You can see it coming up.
No.
In the middle there.
No.
Yeah, we're good. I mean, they've got a pretty big truck.
He doesn't know where the curve is.
There's a lot of side.
Oh no.
So are we still in some of the biggest areas, or areas that have received the most amount of rain, 6 to 7 inches?
Yeah, we just updated
wow.
the rainfall map. And so here it is. I mean, Kentfield is like really the winner. So if you take a look at this, like, wow, because Kentfield's closing in on like a foot of rain. I mean, much of the North Bay, it's 4 to 7.5 inches. I mean, even Oakland, San Francisco, 2.5 to 3.5 inches of rain. And even, parts of Concord, Danville, 2 to 3.5 inches of rain. And then you see how, different it is down in the South Bay. We have like the rain shadow.
0.03. And it's amazing. I just find it amazing that you can go from nearly a foot of rain to 4 or 5 inches.
I mean, you go from like Redwood City, right, where it's 2 inches almost, and then you go, down either 101 or 280 or to San Jose, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. And then I start asking where they get these measurements from. Is it a very heavily wooded area there?
There's a lot.
12 inches.
They're also close to, topography. The mountains of the North Bay can really squeeze out a lot of rain in a more short amount of time. So Fairfax, San Anselmo, Kentfield, that area for sure can see a lot of rain.
This was the tree. This is the tree right down the street from the station here.
Oh yeah, was that on Front Street? Was that the one that?
Yeah, this was on Front Street in San Francisco, right near the Safeway, small little Safeway. But there was no rush to get that tree out of the way because it hadn't downed any wires or anything like that.
So is that one of the ones they just put tape around and like, we'll get to it?
Yes. That's a taped up one there.
So
but a lot of comments coming in. A lot of people. You can tell a lot of people are at home, and they. Let's see here.
I mean, thankfully, if you have the ability to stay home, this is the time.
Well, here's something. This is wild to see. Dry Creek Road in Middletown.
Okay.
In Lake County.
Okay.
And we've been out to Middletown several times on all the fires they've dealt with. But this is the road, and you can see it's not. I don't have a video. It's just a picture. But that should give you an idea. I mean, you can see that creek or river just coming right through there.
Jeez.
So
just a lot of issues, and it's going to be interesting when people try and go about their daily lives tomorrow. What they encounter. What kind of resolves itself overnight? Like how low can the creeks go back down into their banks? So, feels like a water ride.
So this is one I've just gotten in. I haven't watched this, so let's hope everything is kosher on this one.
Let's see.
This is Marin City under the bridge.
Marin City under the bridge. Oh yeah, I know that is. That's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water. I know exactly what it is.
They've already got the cones out there. A lot of feeling like a water ride.
Feels like a water ride.
Something. But even in like, this was, I'm trying to find out Hayward.
Okay.
So this is a driveway in Hayward, where we just have the picture here.
Okay.
But it's completely flooded.
Wow.
The driveway, you know.
Wow.
So I think you know, if you can stay off the roadways, that's certainly the way to go.
Totally.
Especially like, you know, we mentioned it earlier, you know, driving along the I-80 corridor towards Sacramento this morning, then coming back. Yeah. It was one of those where, you know, I had to go out there, but had I not, it would have been best to stay in because the visibility was down.
Yeah.
The road conditions were slick.
Yeah.
And you know, the water was coming down and add wind to that too.
Yeah.
So I mean, fortunate there that I had only seen an accident or two.
Yeah.
There were some vehicles that were on the side with flat tires.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. All that debris in the middle of the roadways, the sticks and you know, the garbage that builds up, all of a sudden that's on the road.
Yeah. And that stuff can get stuck in the drains, right? And then we see those poor drainage issues where everything floods in the street.
Yeah, and CHP even saying that some of the times when they're seeing some of these, you know, the backups along the drains, it'll be just like a little bit of cardboard that's backing.
Right, and they just pull it out,
mixed in with some other,
and like
pull
it
it out,
goes
and
on.
it goes right down. So
that's an issue.
Yeah, so certainly concerning stuff out there, but you know.
Jennifer said the Richmond San Rafael Bridge was closed due to a truck being blown over.
Yeah.
All right. Kathy, I'm in Sebastopol. Had at least 4 inches since last night, 8 inches since Tuesday. Yeah, it is a lot of rain. Let's see.
Okay, here's let's see if we can here's Debbie out in Fairfield, and she sent us this video, so we'll take a glance at this video here. Again, this is Fairfield. See one of the creeks there, a lot of water in it. I think one of the things too, you know, it's not overflowing here. You see a lot of stuff floating down the creek, but these are creeks that haven't had any water in them for some time, you know? And so all of a sudden you have a lot of water. But I guess that's going to happen when you have between 2 and a foot of rain.
It's why. So we're, you know, on our messaging app. So Liz Kreutz, who is in the North Bay, she's monitoring the water there, and she's saying that maybe if anybody can confirm this, that in downtown San Anselmo, the town flood horns are sounding.
Really?
So that's interesting. Which, I mean, that's one of those areas again that we're talking about where, you know, Kentfield, Fairfax, that area. They've seen a lot of rain in a short amount of time.
And I know when we were speaking about that earlier, I mean, we had seen some videos early on today from San Anselmo, and that creek was flowing good.
Yep, totally.
But initially, the initial thought was it wasn't going to overflow.
Yeah.
So if you do have, you know, alarms or horns sounding like, you know, folks are saying, then that would be a concern because all of the businesses are right there. You know, that creek backs right up to it. So.
Let's see. So we're monitoring all of our streams and creeks. It's one of our biggest concerns. Let's see. All right, so it is on the rise. It's kind of that monitor could go into minor flood stage. We're watching that. There's a lot of rivers.
I want to show one more.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
Just because, and I've got to get going upstairs shortly, but I will say on the Richmond San Rafael Bridge, somebody mentioned the Richmond San Rafael Bridge. And the backups that they had. This is, I don't know if you see it down or not, but this is on the Richmond San Rafael Bridge. You might be able to see. I know somebody had said that there was a truck blown over, but I'm not seeing it. Oh, here it is right here. Richmond San Rafael, right on the right side. Or that could be an accident. Let's see. Yep. Yep.
Wow, look at that.
So
that was totally on its side.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And then the other truck was facing the wrong way, unless it was just going to tow that. So And then somebody from the Grattan Casino about their pool overflowing.
The pool?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Their pool overflowing.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm gonna head back upstairs, get ready for the show.
We'll see you
We'll talk at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
or so, an hour.
Yeah, we'll keep this up through the show so we can easily talk to you guys.
Great.
Yeah.
This is great.
Okay, I'll see you soon, buddy.
Look forward to those numbers.
All right, let's see if we can find. Let's see. Got a lot of flooding out there right now. They're just trying to update everything before we go on in about an hour. So we got rename San Anselmo River. We're just trying to get you guys the latest right now. Let's see. A lot of rain. Okay. Again, we've seen a lot of rains. Let's see we're gonna loop this over the last couple of hours. And you can see, okay, so this is just the last 2 hours. You know, it's very gradual, but you can see kind of that ribbon of most intense rain where that yellows, those oranges, even some reds. So you see how it's slowly beginning that shift down to the south. So our atmospheric river, it is on the move. So what that means, we're going to be in the thick of it for a pretty good, I would say, if you're in San Francisco, the East Bay, the Peninsula, we're going to go through this at least through 10 p.m. tonight. And then the South Bay, I would say around 5 to 6, you'll start to see this river of moisture move into your neighborhood. It's just it's a lot of rain in a short amount of time. We're still watching flash floods. Here, you've got I think let me just zoom down over to zoom down into Marin County. It looks like we may have just a flash flood warning. Let's see what this pops up. We do. Okay. Zoom in. Okay, so this is a new one. We're going to be going through a lot on today's show. So this is a new one. Do you remember we were talking about Kentfield seeing almost a foot of rain? This is exactly what we're talking about. This flood warning is now in effect. Just adding something to the team, letting them know about that, just in case we have to send somebody there. Let everybody know what's going on. All right, let's see. Some locations, flooding. Never. I'm going to tell people 1,000 times never drive through flooded roads, and they'll still do it. Don't need it. Hey, Jared, Star just knocked out Lights and Milpitas. Yeah, it's gonna get worse. I know, it's like, it's gonna get worse. When's it gonna stop? I love that you are all interested in how much rain fell in your specific neighborhood. I think that's so fun. That's what I love to. That's what I care about today. Let's see. Someone just asked about San Ramon. Let's see. About 2 inches. Oh my gosh, there's just trees are down everywhere. It's hard. All right, let's see. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, okay. I just got a picture of Rock. I can show you this actually. So we were just talking about Sam Anselmo and Alec, who I talk to a lot on Twitter. Okay, so he's going to show me, this is one road in San Anselmo, severely flooded, flood sirens just went off. Okay, so if you can see, I'm going to try and make this. So that's water going into a house. Okay, we're just gonna, there's one more that he showed me. So if you can see that, all that water. It's crazy. Too much water, such a short amount of time. This is a lot going on today. Just really quickly going to put those high temperatures in. But what am I looking for? That's why I was like, what? Just like I have like 5 screens I'm looking at. That's why you see me glancing in all these different places. What am I? It's high temps rate. And yes, I have to put in high temperatures for 62 different cities, in case anyone is wondering. And then we can go back to all of the rain. Oops. It's gonna be chilly tomorrow. You're always one of the warmer. Nevada, you're always one of the warmer spots. Okay, that was fun. So I'm just make sure this is okay. Yeah, we're kind of on the 60s tomorrow. Okay. That works. All right, we're back. Just had to do that real fast. Hi Drew, thanks for being live. Any idea how much more rain Clayton will see? Probably 1 to 2 inches, Beth. Storm just knocked out. Yeah, power is a huge issue. Did I check? I was wrong. Backyard gauge reading 4.8. So George in El Cerrito. Oh wow, 5 inches. Man. Okay, very impressive. Worried about Marin. I got Nixels 2 in Marin. Yeah, Marin County's getting hit really hard right now. I forget it used to rain here. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, San Ramon. Oh, that's good. Got some creeks going on. Okay. On. Let's see. Okay. So now we're going to put show together. going to be a lot of Doppler. I think people are okay with that. And I'm okay with that. There's a lot going on today. Get it down. So Doppler coming in. All right. That looks good. Flood warning. It's in some creek. It's a lot of flood warnings happening. Oh, why that one block? Oops. That. It's a burn scar. So, right off the top of the 5 o'clock news, I'll probably only have a minute. So that means Drew's got to talk fast in a short amount of time. Just on the thick of it. Back on. Look at that. That thing is just a beast. So you're gonna, you know. So we've still got, I mean, do you see this? That's all aimed at us. We've still got all of this to go through. It's gonna be a fun night. Oh, wow. I mean, can you see that? The winds right now are gusting. This is SFO. They're gusting 53 miles per hour. 53. That's nuts. That is, if anybody is flying, that is going to be a bumpy ride into SFO. Power is out in Mission and Potrero Hill. Yeah, we're starting to see some stuff go down in the city. Let's see. We'll have you keep the, okay. Sorry, just scrolling through all of this. Okay. So now we're back. These winds are crazy. An update. Oh my gosh. Watching San Anselmo very closely. Let's see. Okay, so we need to walk for the rest of tonight. So we're doing here on Future Weather. Oh, the high surf. Okay. That's the other thing we didn't really talk about. Once the storm is all out of here tomorrow, behind it, our surf is going to be pretty active. So we have a high surf warning. I see 20 to 30 foot breakers. That's substantial. That's good. All right. I think we're cooking with gas here. What about for Vallejo? Hey, Tony. Vallejo, you're going to be in it. Let's see when the heaviest is in Vallejo. I mean, you're in it right now. Vallejo is getting pounded with rain. There's Vallejo right there, if you can see it on my Doppler 7. Open airports. Now let's throw up. Just checking something out. Okay. Hey, Jasmine, in Vallejo, Highway 37 towards Highway 80 by Six Flags is flooded. I see a lot of that happening. Water level. just typing up an email about what's going on over the next couple of hours. Tracy, if you're watching now. Okay. So, I mean, we're just, because these winds, we're still gusting to 53 at SFO. That is something. He is just sitting there not speaking. What kind of show is this? Excuse me. I had to take a drink of water and write an email. I'm sorry, not entertaining you every second of the day. But let's get back to it, shall we? We're getting rain now, moving into parts of the South Bay. I mean, we're in the thick of it. You know, the morning it was heavy rain, it's heavy wind. Now it's heavy rain is sliding to the south. So we're gonna find our atmospheric river. It's finally on the move. It's been stuck in the North Bay for much of the day. But as we loop this, I'll loop this over the last 3 hours. And you notice those brighter colors, the yellows and the oranges. If you watch it over a couple of times, you notice how it's slowly, again, emphasis on slowly, shifting south and east. So now we're going to start to see rain intensify over the next couple of hours in the South Bay, where we kind of eluded it for a lot of the day. Something else watching. Here, take a look at this. Okay. You see the last couple of hours? See that? There's another band of yellow that's forming off the shore. That's going to be interesting because it looks like more heavy rain is developing, even behind what looks like the main line of rain. Hey, Leilani, without power in Pacifica. Oof. Yeah, I mean, that has been the biggest issue, is not only power outages, is just the flooding rain. And really just give you an update. We're watching, Marin County really closely. So right here, this is for the San Anselmo Creeks. This encompasses, it's got Fairfax, San Anselmo, Ross, Kentfield. This is an area that has seen close to a foot of rain in just the last 12 to 18 hours. So we have a flood warning in this area. We've been getting pictures and videos. Thank you for sending them. Please do so safely. Of the San Anselmo Creek. It certainly has overflowed its banks, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. So we're watching this area very closely. The flood warning is through this evening. It's probably going to get extended because I don't see this stopping anytime soon. And then as we push to the north in Sonoma County and parts of Napa County, I mean, we've just got like a smattering of flood warnings from Sebastopol to Pengrove, Petaluma, Eldridge, Sonoma, Yountville. I mean, these are just areas that have seen upwards of 6 to 7 inches of rainfall. So we got to watch the North Bay very closely. And again, this is the Glass Fire Burn Scar. We're watching that very closely too. It's got a flash flood warning on it. I mean, the North Bay is just getting hit hard, but now this is all going to shift. This is all going to move into the city. It's all going to move into the East Bay. It's all going to move into the peninsula. It's all going to move into the South Bay. So we are, we're not done. We're kind of getting in the thick of it for a lot of us over, I mean, this is probably going to be our night for the at least next 6 to 7 hours out there. Get your sand. Yes, get your sand. That's funny. Get your sand. Oh, you guys crack me up. We're getting just, emails from our friends out in the field. Hi, Steve. Hi from Lake County. It is stormy. Hey, Andrew. Again, if you have any comments, questions, the easiest way for me to see them, I'm on our Facebook page right now, ABC7 News Bay Area. Type them in. I'm trying to read as many as I can. In about 30 minutes, we're going to be live on ABC7 News at 5. We will have this up the entire time. You guys can kind of see the behind the scenes stuff. But really, we are just watching all the flood advisories kind of popping up right now. Let's see. Slow this down just a little bit. So I'm going to read this. So just exporting live Doppler 7. So we get people on Twitter the latest. And if you follow me on Twitter, Drew Tuma ABC7. That way I can see all of your comments. Shut this down. Save changes. So that might go off in a second. That's okay. So we're going to open it right back up. You ever have your brain just stop working for like a second and you're like, what was I just doing? Wasn't it? Where am I going with this? I don't know. Nope, not what I wanted to post. Let's see what the rainfall estimates are seeing. Additional rainfall. Okay. Like that. That's a solid number. Probably an inch or two. My storm data from Baby's Rainfall off has the worst. Let's see. Give them an answer. Okay. Okay. All right, we're about 20 minutes from the 5 p.m. newscast. You can watch that on the ABC7 News Bay Area app if you're not local, or if you want to on your phone, or you can tune us into Channel 7. I will be right back. Got to go talk to some of the producers upstairs, but we'll have complete coverage. We'll keep this up. I'll still talk to you during the show. We'll do some behind the scenes stuff coming up at 5, but I will be right back in just a few minutes. Hang tight. Hello, guys. We are back. We are getting ready for the 5 p.m. news. I'm here in the Weather Center. There's JR over there in the anchor desk.
Hello, hello, hello.
Different. So we're just getting ready for you guys. Let's see if I can tilt this down. Here, I'll spin this around so you can kind of see what's happening in the studio. These are all of our cameras and where we'll be doing our thing for most of the day. So we are just going over the latest. You can see that way. Ooh, there's Doppler over there.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm sitting on that.
So we're looking at a bunch of different things. So if I move this computer down a little bit, there's a bunch of computers just out of your view. So this is how I can talk with some of the producers. This is the weather computer. So that's why you might see me looking around from time to time. So we're really going to show a lot of Doppler off the top of the show. I mean, this thing is lit up. All right. We're just going over the show, seeing where we're at.
5 minutes out.
Got 5 minutes.
Hello, everybody out there on the gram. J.R. Stone here with ABC7’s. Newscast is about to start up tonight at 5 o'clock and then on this Sunday. Weather is a major concern. We've got reporters scattered all across the Bay Area. Lots to talk about in the flooding situation, the high winds that we are seeing in so many different places. Also, the thousands of customers who are without electricity. We'll see you on the show. Have a good one.
Got a lot of rain coming. Still to go. And Douglas, do I just start at the weather wall? Yeah. Oh, in frames, gotcha.
pre-show hits what, 30 seconds before?